Let me check that out. Okay, that's Gucci.
Alright, what's going on, you guys? It's your boy 3 Stickity Stacks in this thing, baby, representing Team Kings of Games. While I already am basically making videos, I've done a few records and I'm going to upload them later on. I figured I might as well just go ahead and get a couple more, basically birds with the same stone. And I'm going to get some combo tutorials with Dragon Maids, but I'm going to do Virtual Worlds in this video, and I'll do a separate video for Dragon Maids. So for Virtual World, this one is going to be way more challenging for people to learn. And the combos I want to show you guys are more or less like the awkward combos. And they're awkward because they're not optimal hands, if you get what I'm saying. And that's something that I love to learn, especially like if you guys are into my Shadal content. For example, when the Shadal structure deck came out, a lot of content creators, and I mean a lot, I think like Sam started the trend, but a lot of people were showing you the combo with El Shadal Fusion, Damage Juggler, Squamata, or Windy, right? And it was like, dang, everybody knew how to combo with that. Then they showed you the one-card Shadal Fusion combo, and it's like, dang, everybody knew that combo, and every content creator you saw was showing the same exact daggone combos. But none of them showed you how to combo when you have a fusion spell and only Dark Shadals. Nobody was showing you what to do when you don't have an optimal hand. The same thing with Virtual Worlds. What I've seen is a lot of people are teaching you how to combo with like Laulau and Lily and Laulau plus Lulu, which like that hand's already nuts. But I did not really see, and it's not shade or anything, I'm just telling you the truth. What I did not see is I did not see a lot of content creators, any at all, whatsoever, teaching people how to combo with the more awkward hands. So what I'm going to show you guys is basically how to do that. I can teach you the optimal combos. I can teach you draw 2 plus trap and VFD. I can teach you that. But what I want to teach you guys is basically after watching this video, you will now start to draw hands where you did not see the line of play, but then you'll be like, thank you, 3 Stacks. Now I see the line of play. You will draw hands that you might have drawn in the past and you thought was like not a good hand. When you watch this video, you will learn some hands are not as bad as they look like, but if you don't learn how to combo correctly, you're always going to play ineffectively because you didn't test it out in the first place. So if you never tested out your awkward hands, every time you draw an awkward hand, it's going to be the first time you take a crack at it, and you never want to be in a duel or a tournament trying to combo for the first time. So what I'm going to teach you guys is spell, trap, and monster with every Virtual World monster. So basically when it comes to monsters, there are 3 normal summons in the deck, which are Lulu, Yanyan, and also Gigi. So I would like to teach you guys how to combo with every Virtual World monster targeting Yanyan, Lulu, and Gigi. Believe it or not, these all get different results. This one because it's an extender in gray, this one because it's a tuner in the first place, and also this one because it's not an extender or a tuner, so this one's different from all those. And then the other one is basically not Kowloon itself, that's just a spell, but actually Quinlong, or King Long, however you want to pronounce it, dude. Like, don't attack me for pronunciation. Don't be a grammar Nazi. And I'm just going to grab Lulu, Lily, Laulau, and I'm just going to grab some extra copies. I'm going to grab Gigi, and I'm going to grab some extra copies of Virtual World names so I can kind of speed through these combos as much as I can because I don't want to take too long. I want to cover as much as I can cover. If I don't get to cover everything, don't complain. It's going to be covered in a separate video, but I'm going to try to get through as much as I can in this one without it being like over 30 minutes. I think 30 minutes is going to be the mark where I stop and then just do another one. So first things first is how to combo with Yanyan. So I think that this is a good practice if you're playing Virtual Worlds. You should do this at home. I really hope that a lot of Virtual World players do this. Take every normal summonable Virtual World, take every Virtual World that has the in-hand effect, and try to combo with it. And do 2-card combos so that you can try to work with the least, like the minimum that you can. So like for example, if you open Lily, Yanyan, and 3 blank cards that are not going to help you to combo, you need to learn what are the best results I can get with this. Because don't forget, every Virtual World combo has multiple options because you can send different cards that produce different results. What your ideal goal is to get the best result that you can get. Even if it might be greedy, sometimes it might play into Nib. If not playing into Nib leaves you with a board that literally loses to even weaker decks, you might as well just play in the nib, because at that point, you're not going to lose to nib. You're going to end up losing because your board wasn't strong enough. So sometimes you have to risk it for the biscuit. And those are things you're just going to have to learn by making the proper reads, because body language is key also when you're dueling in real life. So Yanyan plus Gigi is going to be the first one because it's like the weakest one, arguably. So we're going to reveal Gigi, targeting Yanyan, dump a copy of Quinlong. Boom. Now we're going to banish the Quinlong, search the Lulu, and discard a random card. You're going to reveal Lulu, targeting any one of those monsters. You're going to discard Chuchi, not discard, but send Chuchi. Search a copy of Kowloon, activate the Kowloon to place the Chuchi in your Space Up Spell Trap zone. If you would like a better follow-up, you can also send a second copy of Quinlong and add Chuchi, but there is a problem that if you do that, you will run into a horrible problem where if this is a self-contained combo and you're not working with any other cards, you have no other way to get an extra name in the banish zone for Chuchi to be live. So I recommend sending Chuchi, adding Kowloon, and playing it to activate Chuchi. If you don't do that, there's no point in searching Chuchi if you're not going to have targets. That's just me. So the next thing that you can do is if you want to be greedy and play into Nibiru territory, you can summon Coral Dragon, and then you can basically summon a Shinshin and draw one. But what I would say is the most optimal play, and you know what, this actually should be in defense because we're going to keep this, is you're going to go for the safest route because the most you're going to get out of this, which is the best result, is Shinshin plus the trap. I don't recommend trying to do anything crazier than that because Shinshin is your safest route that doesn't play into Nib but still can secure your victory against a lot of the best meta decks right now. So what I'll do is I actually take Chuchi, banish it, up the level of Lulu, and I take the Lulu and the Yanyan, because this is not a tuner, it was normal summon, and I synchro on the Shinshin. The reason why I like to leave the Gigi in field instead of putting that in grave 2 is it gives me an additional virtual world name to work with. You will still get in phase Gigi to add Lulu back, so you still have one follow-up. You have 2 names, remember that, you have 2 names for Chuchi, so you do have a pop plus Shinshin, and a follow-up with Lulu. And this is a pseudo follow-up because it's a name that you can target, so it makes it harder for your opponent to basically put you on a reset where you have to find a virtual world card to target for your Lulu. Because like, if they out your board and deal with your grave, it can be really problematic, but when you're leaving that one extra virtual world card, that makes a huge difference because if your opponent does not dismantle that, that means that you can make plays just by targeting this next turn. So if they have like a Cyclone and they out the Shinshin, they also have to out the Gigi. So that's why I like leaving that one extra name because it does make a difference in the long run. Because I do know the weaknesses of this deck. And one thing I learned is if you have no virtual world cards on your field and you are top decking and you have a Lulu in hand, if that top deck is not a basically a virtual world monster, you are basically living and dying on Shinshin resolving. And if it doesn't resolve, you can't do anything with Lulu outside of like just normal and bring back Yanyan and have 2 tuners, and you can't do much with that. So that combo gets you Shinshin plus the trap and a follow-up. The next combo I'm going to show you is going to be Yanyan plus Lily. Believe it or not, Yanyan plus Laulau is stronger than Yanyan plus Lily. I've tested it. So we're going to go Lily, target Yanyan, and what I like to do is just dump both. I'm going to use the secondary optional effect as well. I'm going to banish a copy of Quinlong or Keenlong if you want to be like a grammar Nazi. I'm just going to say Quinlong because that's how I'm going to say it. Discard a random card, reveal Lulu, target the Lily, and this time what you can do since you sent the trap is you can get a better follow-up. So the difference with this combo is you do get a different kind of follow-up off Quinlong, dump the Quinlong, and search for the Chuchi. Since you already dumped the Chuchi off Lily, you'll still have a name to load in the banish zone for this. You're still only working with 1 tuner in this combo, so there's not going to be much difference in like sequencing, but one thing you can do is if you want to get greedy and play into Nibiru, you can use these to make Coral Dragon, use the trap to make this a level 3, synchro in the Shinshin, and you'll have Shinshin trap. If you play Zolkin plus Crystal Wing, good for you, you can end on the Crystal Wing. I do think if you can only summon 1 boss monster, I would prefer Shinshin because I just think it's a better card. It covers way more ground, and it makes it hard for a lot of decks to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Right now. So I prefer this. This is like the Colossus of the format, but you don't have to take my word for that. You can always play any engine, any route, any kind of generic synchro that you want to go for. Or you can make a rank 3 here. But what I like to do personally Actually, the Lily should actually be in defense. That's because what I like to do personally is the same exact thing. I like to use the Chuchi, up the level, and use these to make a Senshin. Anything further plays into Nibiru territory, and like I said, if you can end on a better board that will secure you a victory, play into Nib if you feel like it's worth it. But if all you're going to do is get one extra draw off Coral Dragon and play into Nib territory that way, that's just greed. You're playing into Nibiru, you're going to get punished just because you wanted to draw a card. That's the same thing as summoning Thoroblade, discarding a Zoo to get a draw, playing into Ogre just because you're greedy. Don't do that. So the only time you should play into Nib is if your board can be like 3 times or 2 times better than what you're ending on. Because you're playing into Nib for the purpose of making sure that your board is actually strong enough so that you don't just get blown out in OTK. But since this is an awkward hand, remember, it's just Yanyan plus Lily. Your safest route is to just go Shin, pass with the trap. Play conservative. Make sure that obviously, you're not playing in the Nib. And you still get a follow-up because Quinlong's in grave and Yanyan's in grave. The next combo is going to be Laulau plus Yanyan. And this one's actually nuts. This one is actually nuts because of what you get to end on. So normal Nyan, Laulau in hand, send a copy of Quinlong, summon him. You're going to go ahead and banish Quinlong, add Lulu, discard a random card, synchro with these into Senshin, activate Lulu targeting the Senshin. You're going to dump the Chuchi to add Kowloon, activate Kowloon. Guess what? It gets banished, so that's another name in Banish Zone. And you're going to place the Chuchi in the Spell or Trap Zone. And obviously, because you're summoning a level 3 separate chain, the Yanyan is going to come out. What I recommend for this one is this combo actually does play into Nibiru if you want to end on VFD. If you don't want to end on VFD, you're not playing into Nib. So the reason why I bring out Nyan is because whether I bring out Nyan or not, I'm playing into Nib regardless. So I might as well get this out as an extra name because this is an extra name for my Virtual Worlds to target for better follow-up plays. Because what you're going to do from here is you're going to actually activate Chuchi. You're going to reduce the level of Senshin by 3, making it a 6. And you're going to actually, you know what, Lulu should be in defense. And you're going to actually go ahead and take that Nyan and that Senshin. And you're going to synchro into Cloud Castle, use its effect to bring Senshin back. And you're going to go ahead and overlay these two in the VFD. So, like, this combo's a little bit different because it doesn't get you, like, a follow-up. I mean, truth be told, you don't have to activate Chuchi. Activating Chuchi is a little bit safer because if they have a Veiler or an Imperm for Cloud Castle, you can pop it and get Senshin on board at least so that you're not just ending on Cloud Castle. Another thing that you can do differently is you don't have to dump Chuchi necessarily to get access to Chuchi. You can dump Quinlong and get Chuchi, but you will run into the problem of not being able to summon VFD because you need the Chuchi's graveyard effect. So if you're scared of Nibiru and you don't want to play into it because that's all you're working with, and you want Chuchi at least, then you can dump Quinlong and Sir Chuchi to get better follow-ups. But this combo is a 2-card combo that ends you on VFD plus trap with Lulu on field, which is really strong. And summoning Senshin earlier lets you start banishing more, so you have 2 different pops off of Chuchi, which is really strong. So like I said, Laulau is way stronger just for the very simple fact that he is a level 6 tuner. And he's arguably stronger than Lulu plus Yanyan, which is going to be the last one for the Yanyan combos. And we are 13 minutes in, so normal Nyan, reveal Lulu, send Quinlong, add Chuchi to hand. You're going to go ahead and banish Quinlong, and you are actually going to add the Laulau. To get the best result, Laulau is the best option. There is no better, inboard, unless you're scared of Nibiru, you just go for Gigi, play a conservative, summon your Senshin, get your trap online, stuff like that. But Laulau is, this is what you want right here. So you can go ahead and actually, you can synchro these into the level 6. You don't go into Charge Warrior because you don't have anything to target for Laulau now. But what you will do is you'll summon the Juju. And you go ahead and activate Laulau, and you will send a copy of Chuchi because you're targeting the Juji. You're going to bring back Lulu, and then that's going to trigger Yanyan. This is also going to end on VFD plus the trap, as you can already see. It's just like a different way of doing it. So what I like to do is I actually like to get Senshin basically on the board as early as possible. I just like playing it that way. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to use Nyan plus Juju to go into Senshin. We're going to activate Chuchi to make him a level 9 because you're upping him by 3. And you're going to summon VFD with the trap. So you're going to have VFD plus Chuchi. I do think that Laulau plus Yanyan is the best 2-card combination of Yanyan combos. Because as you guys can see, it got a better board than all the other boards we showed. And Lulu's arguably a better starter, which is kind of funny. So it's just, when you test more with this deck, you start to realize that just because the card looks better on pen and paper does not mean it's the best sequence for certain 2-card combo interaction. So as you learn, Laulau is arguably, and I say arguably, the worst virtual world to start your combo off with, because you always want to hold this to play through Nib and Gamma. You want to hold this because it's an extender. But if you have only the sequencing of Nyan plus Lau, this is the best 2-card combination of a virtual world targeting Yanyan specifically. When it gets to targeting Lulu and Gigi, it does get different. So now we're going to move forward to Gigi. And I'm going to kind of speed through it now because you guys are getting the gist of what I'm trying to do. So Gigi targeting Gigi. Send Quinlong. Banish the Quinlong. Add Lulu. Lulu target one of those. Dump the Chuchi. Add the Kowloon. Activate it. And place the Chuchi. Obviously Lulu's on board. And you have a very similar ending board as basically Gigi targeting Yanyan. It's very similar. So we're just going to go ahead and use Chuchi to up the level. Synchro with these because you don't want to play in the nib. So don't get greedy and try to get a draw of Coral Dragon. You're basically just going to get Senshin. Thanksgiving. So you're basically going to get Senshin, In Phase Lulu, and the Trap off of Gigi targeting Gigi. Obviously, there's different things you can make, but if you ask me, I would always tell you, Senshin, if you can only make one synchro in this deck and pass, make this card. Because it's basically a walking floodgate and a follow-up. A follow-up. Don't forget that. So now what we're going to do is we're going to move to Lily plus Gigi, because it's like another one of the weaker ones. Lily target Gigi, and you're going to send both Chuchi and Quinlong. So that way now, when you banish to add, discard a random card, you can actually use Lulu to now, you can send your follow-up. You can send Quinlong to search Chuchi, because now you don't have to worry about dumping Chuchi off Lulu, because Lily did it for you. So now your follow-up is already engraved, which is going to be really, really strong for you. This is in hand. Very similar. I don't like to play in the nib with the weaker hand, so you're just going to do something very simple. Up the level. Summon the Senshin plus Chuchi. Really strong against a lot of decks right now, believe it or not. Especially if it's like Zodiac and Prank Kids. It's nuts. Like, just banishing everything from the field is already so strong. And don't forget, like, sure, you might be able to end on different boards, but if you ask me, are they better? I don't think that they're better than Senshin plus Trap, just working with Lily plus Gigi, because this is a follow-up. Don't forget that. Always remember, this is a follow-up. Sure, like Gossip Soul might be a monster negate, and you might be like, but I want to negate monster effects and draw a card. It's still not better than a walking 50% Macrocosmos plus a follow-up. Believe it or not, this card wins games by itself. And with your weaker hands, this is the boss monster of the deck. You want to pump this out as quickly as possible. I know that there's different cards. You guys can say 3 stacks, why aren't you summoning this, that, and the third? For these weaker combos, I think, in my opinion, Senshin is your best option. So we're going to go back to targeting Lily. And now we have Laulau. Very similar. So we're going to activate Laulau targeting Gigi. We're going to send a copy of Quinlong. Banish the Quinlong. Add our Lulu. No matter what, you want to get access to Chuchi. That card is very important. Discard a random card. And what you want to do next is just activate Lulu. You're going to have to send a Chuchi to add a Kowloon. And what you're going to do is just activate. And actually, you can, it does get a little bit different because you can do this synchro in Ascension. Just so that way when you activate Kowloon, it goes to the banish zone because of Ascension. So you're getting more food for Chuchi, so you already have it online. And what you're going to do, obviously, next, this plays into Nibiru, but it does pump out VFD. So it's up to you whether you want to play into Nibiru or not. Reduce Ascension by 3, making it a 6. Synchro with these into Cloud. Use Cloud to bring Ascension back. And you have VFD plus the trap off Laulau targeting Gigi. Really, really strong, especially when the hand does not look that strong. Laulau's nuts in this deck. Like, Laulau and Lulu are literally, like, in my opinion, the best virtual worlds. So now, going back to targeting Gigi, the final one is Lulu. you're going to go Lulu, Sin Quinlong, add Chuchi, banish the Chuchi, and obviously you're going to search Laulau here. Just remember, Laulau's like your best option. You want a second tuner. Having the second tuner is what makes VFD possibilities. Like, it opens those routes for you to exploit if you want to play into Nibiru territory, only if you want to. So we have the trap in hand, Laulau's in hand. What we can do is we can go ahead and synchro these two, because you want to be able to use Laulau's Monster Reborn ability. We're going to go into Juju. You're going to actually activate Laulau targeting the Juju. You're going to send the Quinlong, and you're going to use Laulau to, I'm sorry, not the Quinlong. You're actually supposed to send the Chuchi, because you need that engraved for this combo. You're going to bring back the Lulu, and what you're going to do next is synchro these two into Senshin, activate Chuchi to make him a level 9, and you have VFD plus the trap with Lulu targeting the Gigi. So as you guys can see, it's very similar to Yanyan. It's just one less monster to work with, but it's still not as good as Laulau sequencing. So like Laulau is really strong, you guys. Like Laulau targeting a monster is a lot better sometimes than Lulu targeting a monster. And most of the time, what you want is for Lulu to target a non-monster so that you can dump Quinlong and search a monster so you get like a +2 off of it. Dang, my finger got burned and it's kind of like swelling up right here from when I was cooking. So now we're going to move up to Lulu sequencing, which this one's kind of weird because who the heck wants to normal summon Lulu, right? But people understand that you will run into this situation, so you want to be ready for it. So starting with the worst one, Gigi. Gigi target Lulu, send Quinlong. Remember, this is your normal summon. Banish the Quinlong, and guess what? Believe it or not, you actually want to search Lulu, because I don't like ending without Chuchi. I don't know about other Virtual World players, but no matter what board I'm making, I do not like ending without Chuchi. That's just me. You can search Laulau. Don't get me wrong. You can search Laulau, and you will probably make VFD. You probably will. But I value Chuchi. So I can show you the two different... Like, Lulu combos get a little bit more complicated because you get options. Because it's a tuner. You're starting with the tuner. That makes a world of a difference. So, like, I can show you both instances between Laulau and Lulu. I'll show you Lulu first. So you're going to add Lulu, activate Lulu, send Chuchi, add Kowloon. And what you're basically going to do from here is you have two tuners now. So what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and synchro with these. And you're basically, like, for this instance, like, you're going to play into Nib, but you're going to get a draw too. So what you're going to do is you're going to make Charge Warrior, you're going to draw 1, and then you're going to go ahead and synchro these two. So like if you're playing against Zodiacs, this is a really good combo, because instead of Senshin, you can end on the Ravenous, get a second draw, you can activate Kowloon, and you can get Chuchi up, and you have double pop, so if Zodiacs have a Zoo plus an Extender, you can end their turn, like off of the 2 pops, which is really cool. But like obviously, like this is Senshin plus the trap. I just wanted to show you guys like a different route. Like if you just conveniently happen to be running into, I don't know, like Zodiacs or Crinkids, like double pop is really strong against a lot of decks actually. Like this is high key really strong. You might not believe it. And the reason why you want to take the Stardust Charge into Ravenous is because it gets you the 2 draws for the discard, so that you don't have to use any other cards in your hand for his food, which is really good. So like this is your pop, and then this is your other pop. Like, because basically, let me take you a step back. I'm sorry. I kind of moved a little bit too fast. We're going to go back here. So, basically right here, like, this is your setup. You can go for different things. Because I did forget to, like, basically use Chuchi, so that's my mistake for going there. But what you want to do, basically, if you're playing against Zodiacs, is basically just load the trap in Ravenous. That's, like, the grand gist of it. But what I am going to show you guys is Laulau. Because, like, Laulau might not get you the trap, but he does get you, like, a better inboard. Because what this is, basically, to be honest, this is what it is. Like, to load the trap, this is what you want to do. You want to synchro. Where that boy at? You want to synchro the Charge Warrior, draw 1, and you basically want to use Lulu and the Charge Warrior to summon Senshin. And then you activate Chuchi to bump him to level 12. and now you have Senshin plus the trap. So like that's what I was gonna show you guys, or like what I should show you guys. But I wanted to like show you Charge Warrior into Ravenous, just like show you different options, you know, for what you can make. Because the same combo can also make Senshin, or it can make Ravenous. But the thing with Ravenous is like you need to get another name in Banish Zone, otherwise Senshin is not live, and at that point, why'd you search it? You know what I mean? So like it's just a different option. But like for critical mass and getting like a stronger ending board, like without Chuchi access, because that's the thing, if you don't search Lulu, you don't get Chuchi, you will get like a stronger board off of this play. So I'll go ahead and show you. You want to synchro these guys into Juju. This is when you search Laulau instead of Lulu. So normal summoning Lulu gets more complicated than the other ones. Activate Laulau, send a copy of Chuchi, bring back the Lulu. You're working with 2 tuners again. Synchro this into Senshin, banish the Chuchi, make him a level 9, and you have your VFD. So same exact 2-card combo, 3 different sequencing. But these are actually all good against different matchups. Senshin plus Trap, or Ravenous plus Trap if you can get the Banish Zone activate, like get the Banish Zone loaded, or just flat out VFD and just VFD, that's it. Like no like basically no real like follow-ups except for like in-phase Lulu. Because you know Gigi did target the Lulu. So like that is one follow-up that you will get, so you get VFD plus follow-up. Or you get Senshin plus Trap and follow-up, or like Ravenous Trap without like a second Banish and follow-up. Just there's quite a few options. Even Crystal Wing, Zolkin is an option. I'm just saying, like, there's quite a few things. I do think like getting the Trap access is important. We're 26 minutes in, so I'm just gonna go ahead and try to get to the Lily interaction now. Lily targeting Lulu. You're gonna dump Queen and Chuchi, banish the Queen. And for this instance, you can add the Lulu or the Laulau again. I think that adding Lulu is better because you will get VFD this time. So you're going to go ahead and activate the Lulu. You're going to actually go ahead and send a copy of Quinlong and search a copy of Chuchi. Synchro these 2. So Lily's way stronger. Like Lily plus Lulu is actually VFD Chuchi. So what you're going to do next is use Chuchi, make this a level 6, synchro these 2 into a Cloud Castle, bring the Senshin back, and overlay into your VFD. You have 2 in your Banish Zone for Chuchi, so you have Chuchi Trap, and a follow-up of Quinlong Engraved. So like that one is way stronger, to be honest, because you get VFD and Chuchi, and that's what you always want to be ending on with this deck. That's your bread and butter ending board, no matter what, that's what you want. And now we're going to do Laulau targeting Lulu. This is weird because you have 2 tuners, but it works out. So Laulau, send the Quinlong, banish it, and you don't actually want to search a Lulu because you just have way too many tuners. So for this particular one, I recommend getting Gigi this time because you need a non-tuner. You just need one. You just can't. It's not going to work. So what you're going to do is you're going to activate Gigi, and you're going to go ahead and send Chuchi to summon him. And that's going to be your in-phase. Grab back the Lulu as well. And this one gets kind of weird, but it's going to work. You just don't get the Trap. You're going to synchro these into Senshin. Activate Chuchi, make it a level 6. Synchro with the Lulu and the Senshin. Go into Cloud Castle. Bring back the Senshin. Make your VFD in-phase. Add Lulu back off Gigi. So it works out. But you have to search Gigi because you need a non-tuner. And searching Lily is just weird. It gets weird and it gets kind of complicated. So I don't recommend that. Okay, we've got enough time to go over the final monster on monster combo because I'm showing you guys basically virtual worlds targeting monsters. The next part of the video will be virtual worlds targeting spells, and I honestly don't think that you guys will need to learn Kowloon plus any virtual world because I think those are the more popular ones that have been covered, but I don't think a lot of people go over these because as you guys see, this is already a lot of combos that I put in this video. So Lulu, target Lulu. This one's weird, but it works. Dump Quinlong. And you can either basically like dump Quinlong and get Chuchi, or if you just like literally don't care and you have enough monsters already, you can dump Chuchi and get Kowloon. But for this one, self-contained 2-card combo, you need to dump Quinlong. Search Chuchi, banish Quinlong, and you have like 2 tuners, so this can get really complicated. So what you want, like, GD does give you a better follow-up, but to make the combo work, you're going to need Lily. This is like your best option right now, to be honest. Like Gigi is a follow-up, but it's a level 3, so it makes things more complicated. So like what you want to do next is go ahead and activate Lily. You're going to target any one of those, and you're going to dump both Chuchi and Quinlong. So there's your follow-up anyway, so you don't have to worry about in-phase Gigi adding. And you're going to do a very similar sequencing where you're going to synchro an Ascension, use the Chuchi to make this level 6, synchro these, and you're going to go Cloud Castle, bring it back. So as you guys can see, this deck has quite a few 2-card combinations of VFD plus Trap, even if you're just normal summoning Lulu and using Lulu on Lulu, which is weird, but it works. And that's going to cover the monster on monster portion of the combo section, or the combo video. The next one, which is not going to be in this video, but another one, is going to be Lulu, Lily, Laulau, and Gigi, all targeting Quinlong, showing you the different results that you get. Just 2-card combos is what I'm going to cover. 3-card combos get bigger and take longer, but I'm going to do 2-card combos for right now. If this succeeds and people like it and they want to learn more about this deck, I will definitely, I wouldn't mind covering like 3-card combos. But for right now, like this is what I feel is necessary that you guys need to learn. But that's going to be the end of it. God bless you guys.